Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm Beatrice, and today's class is a Yin Yoga class that focuses on the season of autumn and element of metal, which is the associated element to autumn. And autumn in traditional Chinese medicine comes after late summer. So late summer is a season of harvesting, and autumn is a season of gathering the energies in, resting and slowing down, preparing for winter. So as I said, this season is associated with the element of metal, which is also associated with the meridians of the lung and large intestine. So these two meridians run up through the arms and into the belly as well. So those are the areas that we are targeting today. And also I'd like to finish with a meditation on letting go. And I'd also like you to focus, as always, but even more today, on the breath. Because of the lung meridian, which is not only obviously associated with the breath because we breathe in through the lungs and out the lungs, but also because in traditional Chinese medicine, the lungs are associated with the skin, and the skin is that contact with the world around us. And in the same way, the breath can be that contact with the world around, so inviting air in and then bringing it back out into the world. And for this class, I'd like you to have 2 blocks, but if you don't have them, you can always stack a few books to the same height as a block. We're starting on our back. Starting with banana, but because I'd like you to target that upper body area, the arms, and also the belly, I'd like you to try and take banana with the arms up. If that's really uncomfortable for you, you're welcome to not have the arms up and just try to target the belly, the abdomen. So come all the way down to your back. Lengthen the legs forward, then walk the feet to the left. Trying to keep the hips where they are. And notice how this feels through that right side of your body. Maybe you can already feel it to the front as well. And then lengthen the right arm overhead and take it out to the left as well. And you can grab a hold of your right wrist with the left hand, or maybe grab hold of your opposite elbow. Rest your head however is comfortable for you. And to target the belly a tiny bit more as well, you can cross the right ankle over the left. Allow yourself to find your edge. So the space in between pain and no sensations whatsoever. It's a bit of challenge, a bit of sensations. And notice where the sensations go, where the breath goes. Begin to uncross your ankles. Bring the feet to center, and then take your upper body out also back to center, taking the arms down. You can stay here for a moment just to notice how your body feels coming back to center. Now we've worked on that right side. Take a full breath in and a complete breath out. And then gently guide the feet to the right. It's just simply going the other way around. Then you can lengthen the left arm up overhead and take your upper body to the right here. And decide if you like to hold onto your wrist or your elbows and rest the head however is comfortable for you. If you need a tiny bit more, you can cross the left ankle over your right. Uncross your legs, bring them back to center. And relax your arms and come all the way back in the middle of your mat. You can take your arms down or on your belly. Take a moment here, a couple of breaths, allowing the body to come back to center. Now find your 2 blocks. You can do this with the bolster as well, but I'm using the blocks so that we don't have too many props around, but of course you're welcome to grab them. So come up onto your forearms, be careful, and take the first block in between your shoulder blades. Now you can take it either at this height or the second height, whichever version works for you. Just be mindful of your upper back. Then take the second block under your head. And once you have placed them, obviously take your time to adjust it. Notice if you need that one under your head. If not, you can always remove it. And I always like to bring my hands under my head here as well, as we're targeting the arms too, because I can feel it across my chest and up the upper arm. So that should feel quite nice. You can stay with your legs forward or you can bend your knees if you prefer. It doesn't matter really, but because we are targeting the tummy as well, lengthening the legs will give you a bit more of that. But if that's too much for your low back, be mindful and bend your legs. So allow your shoulders to soften here. If at any point you feel like you need to remove that block from under the head, or you need to bring it higher, by all means as well, you can do that. Notice if there's any difference between the 2 sides, especially if you have your arms up overhead. If perhaps you feel one side is a little bit more grounded, one elbow is a little bit closer to the ground. Maybe one side of your chest feels a bit tighter. Begin to notice how your breath feels here. Notice the rhythm, the length. If you catch yourself tightening any area of the body, maybe squeezing the muscles in, try to relax. Now if you have your hands under your head, begin to release them. Take your block away as well if you have it there. And gently roll onto one side. Whichever side feels good for you to come out off of the blocks. Take that block and place it away and come back lying onto your back just for a moment. And notice how your upper back feels, your arms. In your own time, make your way up to hands and knees. So roll onto one side, support your back with the top arm and come all the way up. Now from here, we come into a modified child's pose. So still targeting the arms a little bit more. So take your blocks at the top of your mat. I like to take them the long way, but you can take them the other way around as well. So we use the block to place the hands on. Of course, if that feels a bit too much for your shoulders and your arms, you're welcome to take a regular child's pose with your arms reaching forward. So come up to your hands and knees. Take your big toes together, and here is your choice to have your knees wide, your knees together, your hips completely on your heels, or maybe have something to support. Take your option. And then reach your hands forward and either keep them on the ground or find your blocks. And let the head rest towards the ground. And also be mindful with where the blocks are. So if you need to adjust how far they are or how close they are, take your time to do that. If you can, try to keep your elbows straight here, just because we're targeting the arms. So if you don't want to have them all the way straight, by all means, as long as you feel sensations through the arms and into the shoulders. Maybe you can feel some sensations in the chest too. If your mind's wandering, take your time to return to your breath. Perhaps you can feel sensations on your skin, maybe the air touching your skin, or different textures of your clothes. Begin to bend your elbows, let them find the ground, and take the blocks to one side. Now return up to your hands and knees, and we come into melting heart. So for this one, keep your hips up in line with your knees and your feet pointing back. Your knees are just under the hips. And once you're ready, reach your arms forward and let the head drop down towards the ground. Forehead to the ground or to a block if you prefer. Begin to bring your hips back towards your heels, coming back into child's pose. You can relax the head down or on your forearms, knees together, knees wide. Just be here for a minute just to notice your breath. Once again, returning to center. Begin to unroll up to seated. And you can grab one of your blocks, to sit up on. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. Just stay here for a few minutes in meditation. So you don't have to be cross-legged, be in any comfortable seated position that works for your hips and your body in general. And you can close off the eyes, or you can keep them softly open, looking down towards the ground, making the gaze soft. And just like leaves fall off the tree to leave space to the new to come in, I'd like you to find an intention of something to let go of. So this can be a thing that you can't let go of, a feeling, emotion, maybe even a person. So allow yourself to settle here. Take a moment to notice the breath, sensations in the body. Just to make space in the mind first. And allow this thing to come in to your mind, this thing you want to let go of. And you can visualize it, you can notice how it feels. Stay with it for a few breaths. Take 5 more breaths here. And on your next breath out, as you let go of the breath, let go of this thing as well. Let it go away from your mind. And you can stay with your breath, or you can notice sensations on your skin for a moment as I read you a poem. She's a very popular Chinese poet from a bit more than 1,000 years ago. So this poem is called Autumn. Wind passes over the lake. The swelling waves stretch away without limit. Autumn comes with the twilight, and boats grow rare on the river. Flickering waters and fading mountains always touch the heart of a man. I never grow tired of singing of their boundless beauty. The lotus pods are already formed, and the water lilies have grown old. The dew has brightened the blossoms of the arrowroot along the river bank. The herons and seagulls sleep on the sand with their heads tucked away, as though they did not wish to see the man who passes by on the river. If your eyes are still closed, you can flow them open. And on your breath in, reach your arms up to the sky. Bring the palms together and draw them down to the heart. If you'd like to, you can bow down. Thank yourself for this time on the mat. Thank you so much for joining me for this class today. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and share with your friends and family, maybe even leave a like and a comment. I'd be very grateful. Thank you very much.